Hello, this video is going to show you how to use formulas, freeze rows and columns, and how to sort data in a Google Sheet. There are a number of formulas that you can use in a Google Spreadsheet, and one of my favorites and the one I will show you is how to calculate the average of a set of numbers. So let's say for this set of students and quiz scores, I want to know what the average is for each student. So what I can do is I will decide that I want this column F, to have the average scores. And so I'm going to go ahead and label that column. And I can actually also copy the formatting from one of these cells to this cell so that it looks the same as this top row. And the way I do that is I click on the cell that has the formatting I want, click on this Paint Format tool, and then click on the cell that I want it to copy the formatting to. And so now my cell has the same formatting as the others. And I'm going to go ahead and expand that column a little bit by clicking and dragging so that it fits. In order to calculate the average, I'm going to click on this cell, and I'm going to tell it to calculate the average of the scores for Albert Smith here. And the way I do that is I'm going to go ahead and type in equals, and I'm going to say average, and I'm going to say open parentheses, and I'm going to click and drag on the scores that I want it to average. So I want it to average his scores for quiz 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and type in the close parentheses and hit enter. And what this tells me is that Albert's average score is an 8. And I want to do this for all of the students, but I don't want to have to type the formula in every single time. So I can actually go ahead and click on this corner of the cell, and I can go ahead and click and drag all the way down to the number of cells, all the way down to the end of the cells that I want to have that formula. And so what it's done is it's copied the formula all the way down to all three cells, and it's taking the scores of taking the scores from the three columns to the left of that cell. And so this tells me that Albert's average is an 8, Jane's is a 10, and Joe's is a 7.67. Freezing a row or a column can be really helpful in a Google spreadsheet because it will hold the data in those rows all in one place. And so the way you do that is you click on View, and in this case I'm going to go ahead and freeze just this first row. So I'm going to say freeze one row. And what this has done is it's held row 1 here all in one place and not the other rows. So it doesn't matter how I scroll up or how I scroll down, that top row remains the same. I can do the same thing with the columns, using the same features. So I can click on View, and then I can say Freeze Columns, and I'm going to go ahead and freeze the first 2 columns. And what this has done is same thing that it did with the rows except for the column, and so it doesn't matter how I scroll to the left or to the right. The students' names all stay in one place, but the scores move around whenever I scroll. And what this allows us to do is also to sort data in a particular column. And so I can actually go ahead and choose any row that I want. So let's say I want to sort the student scores by their average scores. I can go to column F, and I can click on this little arrow, and I can say, go ahead and sort the data in the sheet. I'm going to say A through Z, so it'll do it actually from lowest to highest. And what this has done is it's sorted my entire sheet by the data here. So you can see the lowest average score is the 7.67 from Joe, and then it goes up all the way up to 10 as I go down the spreadsheet. And I can use this feature to sort by any column I want. So I could have done it by quiz 1, okay, or by quiz 2, or by quiz 3, and it looks like actually all 3 of those happen to sort it in the same way.